Welcome back, Firewood addicts, to another episode of Travis Does Firewood. Today we got some more wood, so we gotta get some more splitting done. Let's do it. Go! So before I show you the new wood that we got, check out this area here. Check it out. The whole backyard is clear. No wood, no scrap, no debris. All raked up. Isn't it look nice? An area was all cleaned up, raked out. Even though this probably won't not last very long, but at least the sun is out a little bit. We'll have some sun for a few days, so we'll see if this can dry out a little bit. So a lot of you in the previous episode voted for gravel. I'll probably do gravel here, but we'll see how that goes. I got one piece of fir left that I couldn't quite split up with the Champion, so I'll probably end up using the a chainsaw to kind of like cut it up, and then I'll put this in the cooking pile, or the cutoff pile, the short piece pile, which I'll show you right now. So this is the cutoff pile here. The back side is more or less tossed in like this, and while the front is stacked to kind of help enclose it. So this is all the crotchety pieces, all the knotty pieces, stuff that are not at 16, so shorties in front. Some good wood here, definitely, but I don't want to mix this in with my 16 inches. So, my 16 inchers. So the fir got put in various places. The bonfire wood I put it in this spot where I had the spruce and some fir. So I'll put the whatever bonfire pieces I have, I'll start storing them here, and they can dry out all separately, so they're there. And then the rest of the fir I put over here. I started making the pile, started making my wall. That's all the fir. That's all average 16 inches. Okay, so that's that. But this pile here, this is the stuff that we got from that tree service place. So I did this off camera. I just busted out. It's done. The hardest part is just splitting it. Stacking, I mean, it is a pain in the butt. I will stack this. I may do some more piles in the future, but for now, this is just going to be stacked. So it's all split up, all thrown in here. So I'll just, when I have time, a minute, I'll stack this, get this up on the ground. This is a mix of wood here from tree service, so this should be fine. I believe this should be all softwood, so is what it is. And then I did get some bonfire pieces out of that load. So this is a few handful of bonfire pieces that will go where I just showed you. And then these are the small pieces here that I'll put in that bin that you just saw as well. And then whatever scrap pieces and the piece of rot right there, these rotted pieces I'll put in my personal to stack up, and these small pieces I'll put in my personal because they're too small to put in the area to sell. So that's what I've been working on right now. So. But then, I think you just saw it behind me a second ago. I got a ping on my local Buy Nothing Facebook group. And this one household had this wood available, so I just took it. Didn't need it, didn't really want it. I think it's like juniper, cedar, something mixed with I think this is like an alder here wood. Definitely some chunks. Definitely, I'm thinking like homeowner type chopping down. Definitely sizes are all over the place. And in this type of work, this type of getting free wood, you just take everything. Like I don't want like small weird pieces and like branches and such. But they're giving you free wood. You're taking the free wood off them. It's a win-win. So don't leave any scrap. Just take what that's there, and then dispose of it, or use it as you will. So I got this. Definitely not a priority because it's out of the way, and I'll figure out what it is, and then I'll I'll split it. Sorry, I'm all over the place this morning, or today. The sun is just this weird semi-drug that you get the vitamin D and you just get crazy antsy, and you want to be outside and you want to do everything you can, but you can't. So anyway, what I wanted to mention was when I split this up, there was as you recall, there are a bunch of chunks in here, and what I did was, and someone mentioned it in the previous episode in the comments, was just going back and forth with the splitter, being the transformer that she is, going from horizontal to vertical, and vice versa, when needed. So I'm not having to manhandle the big pieces, just to go down in vertical mode and split up the big pieces into manageable chunks, and then going back to horizontal, to standing up, using my hooks when needed to kind of pick the pieces up and putting them on the table and splitting. So I had to go back and forth a few times, but doing so is not that difficult. So it's nice having that option, and I think it saves with the hook and the option to go back and forth. I think is nice, as opposed to having to break my back to bring up big pieces to the table, or to get out the chainsaw, get out the wedge, and get the pieces smaller to be able to do that. So that's one pro about having a splitter like this, is this option being a transformer to go from vertical to horizontal and vice versa, and in no time flat to do so. So I just wanted to point that out. That's what I'll probably end up doing, is when I have big chunks, I'll just go down to vertical mode and split them up into manageable pieces, and then back to horizontal, to make sure that I can pinpoint where I want the split to happen. That's easier to do when I'm standing up and it's in horizontal. Anyway, so back to the video, back to the episode, back to the topic at hand that I want to share with you. I got a ping from my cedar guy. Yes. And he agreed. So he sent, Travis, you want some more cedar? I said, hell yeah. Yeah, I do. You know me. So we got some more cedar. I'll show you in a second. And so now it's time to get this processed, because it's in my driveway. When he comes, it's always in my driveway. Here it is. This is the cedar that we got right here. Not that big of a load. It's not full because his new helper guy that he had, it was spring break last week or so, and he had a week with this high school kid, and the high school kid didn't really know what was up and didn't do a very good job loading the trailer full. So apparently he has another 2, maybe 3 trailer loads of this. He said maybe logs. We'll see. I think he's gonna come back as soon as Sunday. So I need to get this processed. I need to get this out of the way. I mean, in theory, worst case scenario, I put down another tarp and he puts it somewhere else on my driveway. But I would rather just get this out of here. So I got some good chunks in here, some smaller pieces in here, maybe a few 16 inchers like this one there. It looks type longer. I get these sometimes from him, and I think you saw this when I did. I'll link it above. I use my chop saw to cut this up, not the safest, as opposed to using like a chainsaw. So I may do that again. I'll put this in a load. So definitely some good wood here. I made a lot of money in cedar chunk sales over this past winter. So and cedar does dry fairly well, so this is gonna be some good money here, worth my time, that I can more or less sell everything that's in this pile, more or less. So let me move some cars around and get set up, and let's get this processed. and it's the next day. I ran out of time yesterday, so I did a little bit off camera, but I just want to show you. I'm not done yet, but I'm gonna show you what I got done. I piled all these long pieces in a pile, so there'll be one trailer load there. I have a bunch of this still split up, these small pieces here, and then I'll get this split up. These larger pieces here, that piece, and these pieces here, these are long enough, more or less, for like actual firewood at like 16 inches and or kindling. So probably will split this up with the Champion, because it's, I want to make sure it's more uniform than just having to hack at it with the Fiskars. And some of these pieces here need to be bucked up real quick, and then there's some lumber pieces that were included, so that I'll just take that down, and then I'll clean it up a little bit there, and then yeah, so then this tarp needs to be cleaned off. So you probably saw me earlier in this video picking up these like small pieces of cedar, and I didn't want to go like too small, like these itty bitty small little pieces. But I do have people. I have one lady who likes to buy these smaller pieces of cedar, and she uses them as kindling. So I do sell them at the same price as I would these chunks here for like a garbage can worth. But she gets more value with these small scraps at $30 per can, because it's more jam packed. So, but I don't want to put like too small. But I don't want to put like this size piece, or even like maybe like this size piece in my cedar chunks. I mean, so this is like a handful. Whatever you can pick up with your hand, maybe a little bit heavier than this, would go in the cedar chunks to dry out. I'm sold as cedar chunks, but I don't want to sell too smaller pieces. So I have a market for these smaller pieces as small little kindling pieces, but I don't want to go too small, if that makes sense to you. So again, taking what would be trash into money and finding markets for different things. These pieces here I won't cut up today, but these pieces here I'll cut up as like maybe like a non-premium kindling, because there's bark on it, and definitely not uniform. And the bell ends, I'll take this piece here and I'll add that to my cedar chunks as well. So all this here will be we process into smaller pieces and then sold as I can sell it. So last time I did this, I used a chop saw, and it was kind of shady, kind of dangerous. I don't recommend that, because I mean, this edge here is straight, so you can put that up against the fence and chop it. But some of these some of the edges are not straight, and you can't put it up on the fence to chop it safely. So I don't recommend that. But I did that because it was faster and a lot less tedious than having to use a chainsaw, each piece cut, and I don't have a longer bar on my saws as right now still to have to bend down to kind of cut each piece and measure. And yeah, it's so worth it to process this stuff too. So yeah, let me show you where we're at down the hill here. These boots, these work boots, I've had for several years. I wore them when I worked for the Department of Homeland Security, and then I just turned into my work boot. I love these boots. They're former military boots, and I think U.S. military. They're not steel-toed, but they're just like rugged, but they're falling apart. They're just like, the stitching is coming apart and the sole's coming apart, and I've tried to glue it together, and it's just not doing the job. So, but I applied to be part of the 100 boot pair giveaway from Hikes, and I didn't get it. But then they gave me a promo code to buy their boots, and it was like for like 45% off. but the boots were still like $200. Like, maybe if I could go to a cobbler, it may cost that much just to fix these boots, but it'd be nice to have new boots, but I mean, thanks for no thanks. Anyway, I digress. So this is the area here that I'm dumping the cedar chunks. Open area. Hopefully they'll get enough airflow. I put down another layer on top of the first layer of pallets. I have another layer. The initial layer of pallets were breaking down, and there's debris below it. So there wasn't not adequate airflow. You want to make sure there's airflow beneath your wood, up off the ground, and make sure that there's no debris in amongst the 1x4s, right? So I have another layer of pallet there. Hopefully that will help with airflow, and then get these dried out, to sell. So I have a few here that I need to offload using the garbage cans to kind of ferry wood down, so it helps with less ferrying, if that makes sense. I don't put the smaller pieces in this area, just the big pieces, so in case that one lady wants kindling, I don't have to dig for it in here. So what I did was, in much of this whole mess in here, I need to get organized. I dumped it, the smaller pieces, I dumped it here. So this will all dry out, and it's separated from the bigger stuff. So I hope that will go to plan. I don't know, we'll see. So, and then those longer pieces, right? The longer pieces that I put, that I got from up top, they're laid here, just at the staging area, quite a bit here. So, I guess if the pallet was wood, I could take the chainsaw and just go. I may still do that, but I don't know. Like, some of these edges here look pretty straight, so we'll see how I'm going to process this. But I'll probably do that off camera. So yeah, I think my cedar guy has at least another load for me. So I hope that I can get that. I think he's coming this Sunday, as what he said. So hope that I have another load. So in theory, I guess I could have this whole thing full, like from the back all the way, and then I'll stack a front face, and then it'll all be full. So definitely plenty of cedar. I mean, I sold a lot of this past winter. People, I mean, because it was cheap enough, and if they know what they're doing, they'll take a piece of cedar and to put that in their wood stove with other wood to prolong their good wood, because this cedar will definitely burn quickly, but it's so dense in these these chunks. So or they can cut it down further and then make kindling, whatever you want to do. But I do sell it, so again, I maintain this worth my time, and my cedar guy, he maintains that it's a win-win for him to come to load his trailer and to go from his house to my place, dump, and he will always time it where he'll go from my place with this trailer now empty to the mill to pick up more of his wood that was milled at the local mill, and then he will go from the mill to his house to our yard to process further. So instead of him having to fuss with having to find people on marketplace or offer up to give away the free wood, or to go to the dump and dump it, or just take the time or pay someone to have a big bonfire and monitor it, it just makes sense. So to come to me. So it's definitely win-win. And I mean, he could go to the local dump and dump it there, but that would cost him money. So it's yeah, so taking literally trash and making money. I mean, yes, he could spend money and go to the local dump and dump it there and pay a fee, but so this is literally, to him, is trash, and I'm taking his trash and I'm making money with it. Now, on the note of dumps, I know a lot of you have mentioned or see videos on people going to a local city or county municipal dump site where people can dump their greenage or their compost, more like logs or rounds or stumps, whatever, and then for free, and then other people, or maybe to pay a fee, and other people can come to that same location and get firewood or rounds. So, and that sounds awesome. It'll make total sense. But I reached out to my local county, and they said that they don't do that. And even if they did, they have a no salvaging policy where you can't take what was dumped. So it's a bummer. But then they gave me names of a few places where they take in that type of material, and I contacted them and they say, no, we whatever people come to dump, we use, and you can't take it from us. So even like local milling places or like lumber yards, or there's a company nearby that makes pallets, any scrap that they have is sold to another company to make sawdust for like pet beds, or like goes to make bark, or what you call it, compost, like the stuff you put in gardens. That I call it bark, but it's you put in gardens, like little flower beds, to make it look nice. Anyway, every part of the wood or log that is used, there's no scrap left over, nothing available for civilians to take to get for free for firewood or their own use. It's all used, at least here in my area. I guess maybe it's more open and free in areas where if it's not used, it can be given away or available on the curbside or the corner or some like bin for like free. I don't know, but that does not exist, and I've searched. So I'll be going back to the local arborist company to get more wood tomorrow. You won't see that until next week, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. I think that's going to be my go-to spot because it's really close, and they seem nice, and they're okay with me being there. But yeah, just trying to get hands on free wood, and the cedar is definitely a jackpot. So I'm not quite sure how many totes I can fill with the cedar that I got the other day and process, but yeah, we'll see. It won't be ready for a while. But so let me get back to getting the driveway squared away. But I'll let you go. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Make sure that you tune in on Sundays for the interview. It's another good one. And then stay tuned for the following Sunday. That's going to be an even better episode there. As I was filming this episode yesterday, and my buddy Mike over at Rusty Garage in Homestead, he texted me saying congrats on the subs, and I looked down to confirm, and lo and behold, I have now I have 900 subs on my channel, which is very exciting and super cool. But I think it was, if this is correct, I believe, Terrence West, you are the 900th sub on the channel. So if you're watching today, thank you, I appreciate it. Now that we have 900 subs, now it's not a rush, but I want to do something special. Up until the running to get to 1,000, I'm having a giveaway. On the 1,000th sub episode, I'll be doing a giveaway. I have a few things in mind. I have a few things that are coming to me soon. I won't go into details of what they are yet, because I think we're still, there's some time that needs to go forward. So I know I don't like to promote liking and notifications and subbing or whatever, but I think it's a cool milestone for the channel to be at 1,000. You know, so if you want to be a part of that, it'd be really cool to have some giveaways for that. At the one episode, I did one for 500, you know, so now I'm gonna do one for 1,000. And the channel has definitely grown. I have a small following for the channel, and it's super exciting to be a part of, and I appreciate all your viewership and support. So so if you have any ideas for the things to give away, or companies to reach out to get some items, some cool swag or whatever, I don't know, should I make hoodies and t-shirts to give away? Would that be cool? I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But I got some stickers for the channel. I can do that too. But yeah, so I'll let you go. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Till next time, stay safe, rock and roll, and keep cutting. Cheers.